Good morning, everyone. It's Alison Sullivan with Stamp Crazy with Alison. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in New Westminster, British Columbia, in Canada, just on the West Coast. Welcome. If this is your first time joining me, thanks for coming. And if you're my regular, thanks for coming back on my Sunday Live. I'm just going to make sure that I am broadcasting and that you guys can see and hear me. So I'm just going to go to my iPad here and get all sorted. There I am. So let's hope yeah, look at that. It's working. Hi, Keisha. Good morning. How are you? And I see that I'm live on YouTube, so everything seems to be working. Yay. I'm just going to go over here and refresh my screen so that I can watch your comments as they come in. Where I'm working. Okay, I think we've got it going here. Excellent. Okay, good job. All right. Morning. Hope everybody's good today. Hi, Mo. How are you? I'm a little late. Sorry, I was a couple of seconds late there. Trying to get everything sorted. Hi, Jacqueline. Good morning. Nice to see you too. Good morning, Heather from Ottawa. Or good afternoon, I guess. Good afternoon to you and Mo. You're crafting away. I'm good too. I'm not crafting yet. I was getting my customer thank yous and my team cards sent out. I send out thank you cards. I should show you what I send while we're waiting for people to pop on. How about that? I'll show you. So they're different every month, of course. So let's have a look at my. Let me go over here. So this month. Oops. This is my thank you card this month. Whoop. Drop something nice and bright. You know, we don't want to let the fall go. We don't want to start the fall too early, I guess. And then these are the cards that go out to my team to congratulate them. So Jacqueline, you just saw your card before you got it. Sorry about that. And then I also send anniversary cards. So when people on my team have been Stampin' Up! For a full year, and every year after, I send them a congratulations card. So I was just working. That's what I was working on today. Oh my gosh, I've got the worst hair day today. Okay. Okay, everybody's just waiting around. We're just gonna wait a sec. Got people popping on. In case you can't tell, we're gonna be doing some fall cards today, or fall card, using the All About Autumn. Love this suite of products. Hi, Ellie. How are you? Good afternoon to you. Let's go over here. Okay. So we're going to be using the All About Autumn. I don't know what the temperatures are like where you guys are. It's still hot and sunny here. I think it was 27 degrees yesterday. But I anticipate that will quickly turn, because if you live in the Pacific Northwest, it's, as Keisha and I know, and Jacqueline, it's if you don't like the weather, wait a second, because new one's coming. So so I thought, I'll start working on these. And the other reason I wanted to show you this suite, it's because it's the suite of products that my class partner, my creative escape partner, Ange McKay, and I are using in a class that's virtual. So anyone can join from anywhere in the world on October the 1st. And we're going to be using this in our class. So it's on Facebook. Just taking a sip of tea. All right. Let me show you some of the products that are in this suite. The first thing is the colors. Very fall-like, but also kind of a different palette. We've got Moody Mauve, and we've got Peacock, Pretty Peacock, Mossy Meadow, and then Copper Clay. But then to enhance that, we've also got Very Vanilla is the neutral color they want us to use, or they suggest that we use, don't want to use, but you know what I mean. Let me grab it so I can show you them all together here. Okay, so rather than the basic white, we're using the Very Vanilla. And then as part of the gorgeous suite, we've got these 2 oxidized copper designer series papers. So there's your pretty peacock and your copper. That's sort of being highlighted here, but I think you can see how beautiful and shiny that is. Isn't that gorgeous? So that's your palette that you're working with. So when I'm trying to design a card, I will often pull out the colors of ink. So I did that. I'll show you those. So here's the ink. So we've got our mossy meadow copper clay, pretty peacock. Oh, not berry burst. That's not very good. Why do we need berry burst? We don't need berry burst. Goodness, I pulled the wrong one. Here we go. Moody Mauve. There we are. So I just pulled those. And then I pull the papers. And then I start playing from there. Okay, so that's just sort of how I try and approach my creative side. Okay, so that's colors, and that's that gorgeous paper. So we also have in the suite a ribbon combination. Sometimes they do this where they give you 5 yards of each, which I kind of like because then you can use up 5 yards, I think. Copper and natural ribbon combo pack. So you get 5 yards of each. We've got the metallic copper and the natural. So let me just show you that. So this one's quite wide. How wide is this? Let's see. 1 inch. And then our copper, look at that. Is that ever gorgeous? Can you see that shining? I hope so. It is only, I think it's let's see here, quarter inch. So that's part of the suite. And then we've got embellishments, because we always have to have embellishments. Adhesive back speckled dots, which are really nice. So again, we're covering the copper. We've got the Moody Mauve and the Mossy Meadow. And then this is more of a sort of a crumb cake neutral. Okay. So those are fun, and they come in different sizes. And then we've got the designer series paper, which is 6 by 6. Oh, it's cool in Toronto, is it? Oh, yeah. Well, it changes, doesn't it, so fast? But look at these gorgeous photographs that have been made into designer series paper. Aren't they beautiful? So each pack of DSP comes with 48 sheets, but you get 4 out of each design. I like this one. I really like this one. Oh, no, leather chair. Look at that. This one, I've used up most of it. I love it because it's got sort of all the different colors. Just a palette there. And some just, it just looks like texture, doesn't it? Like that wool blanket or that wool throw that you would have as you sit outside in the last days of summer, early days of fall. And then on the other side, we have, ooh, look at this. All this beautiful metallic. Can you see that? Just gorgeous. So again, you've got those colors, those pretty peacock and the mauve and the clay and the mossy meadow. So gorgeous. So that's the designer series paper. And the one that I'm going to use in the card today is, let me show you. Where did it go? Here it is. I'm going to use probably the most boring one, but I'm going to make it cute. So I'm going to use the palette one. Okay. Then, of course, we've also got a embossing folder, the Distress Tile 3D embossing folder. Now, this is really cool. You probably can't see on the picture. Well, maybe you can, but it's got this really cool design, but then there's pieces where it's missing. So that's what the distressed is supposed to be. So I've run one through just to show you how it looks, but you can see there's parts missing, and that's on purpose. So if you've got this folder and you run it through and you think, oh no, it's not embossing. It is. It's the way it is. It's the way it's supposed to be. Okay. So that's also part of the suite. And then, of course, we've got stamps and dies. So we've got our Autumn Leaves stamp set. and our autumn leaves dies. The dies have 17 dies, and here they are. So you've got those outlines. So when you stamp the maple leaf or the oak leaf, you've got the outside, you've got the coordinating dies. You've got a die to cut out the leaves. And then we've also got these dies, which are the veins, I would say, of the leaves, right? But then we also have dies that cut out leaves, but they're not associated with the stamps per se. We've got a couple of labels. We've got these, which are really cute. These actually just emboss the cardstock. They don't cut out anything. They just kind of add these little elements or interesting texture. And a couple more leaves and a couple maple leaves. Yeah. Don't you love it when Stampin' Up! Gives you more than one? So we got two leaves and two maple leaves and then two leaves and then two oaks. It's kind of nice because then you can cut out more than one at a time. At least I like that. So that's what's included in the suite. So how's everybody doing? Oh, hi, Carly. Oh, Carly dropped on. My daughter dropped in. My artist daughter. Which I always feel like she's just a fabulous little artist. All right. Let me grab my bone folder. So we've got an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of Mossy Meadow. And we've got a bone folder. Just going to give it a crease at 4 1/4. So that makes a regular size card. I got to remind myself what I did here. Okay. So the first thing I did, you guys, was I took that piece of DSP that we talked about, and I went ahead, I cut it to 4 by 5 1/4, and then I'll put it through the embossing folder. Can you see that that's now embossed? Maybe on the other side, if you can see, embossed it. Because I just wanted to add a little bit more interest. So if I bring in the original, that's what it originally looked like. And that's what it looks like when you put it through the embossing folder. So hopefully you can see that. Okay, so I'm going to just glue this on. Okay, hope everybody's keeping well today. All right. Glue that down. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do on the front there. Just gives it a little bit more dimension than it normally would have, right? Now I see that there's somebody joined from YouTube, so I have to go over and say hello. Hi, Heidi. What time on October 1st is your class? I'm Central Time in Minnesota. It's Pacific Time. That class is at 12:30 Pacific, so I think that is 2:30 Minnesota time, Central Time, 2 hours. But the good thing about it, Heidi, is that you can come anytime. That's when we're going to actually do it live. But you can join anytime after that and watch the replay. And because you're in the United States, we can't send you the card kit, but you just purchase the PDF. You come to the party and you just cut your own materials. You just buy from your own demonstrator, or if you're a demonstrator, you buy from yourself. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. You can follow the link after I'm finished today. You can follow the link to the to my classes, and you'll see it. Okay, it's on the virtual launch link. Okay, all right. So hopefully that answers your question. I don't think I missed anybody else on YouTube. No. Okay, let's keep going here. So let me put this somewhere where I won't lose it. How about there? Okay. Those of you who know me. So let's do a few things. Let's stamp some things. I've got some scrap Very Vanilla here. And I want to use the Pretty Peacock. And I'm going to use the large maple leaf here. Okay. It's a bit juicy. Maybe I need to take some of the, I'll show you a trick. If this is too juicy, I'll show you a trick. But we'll see how it goes. Okay, so that's a bit juicy, isn't it? So what you can do, if you think that's too strong, because your stamp pad is just a bit too juicy, Also, these are stamps where you can lose some of the definition if there's too much ink. So what you want to do is your pad's too juicy. I'm just going to take a bone folder. Now this is a bone folder that's an old and well-loved one. And I'm going to make sure I've got a wipe here so I can clean it. What you do is you just take it. Now you're just putting it on the side here, and this is this is rounded, so it's not going to cut your pad because this is just foam. So you want to be really careful. So I'm just going to drag this across and just take off some of that ink because it is juicy. Okay, let's see if how that works out. Might make just a slight difference, but let's see. I might have to take a little more off. Just have to keep playing with that. So there's the difference. Can you see that? That's with taking some of the ink off. That's full strength when I open the pad. And your pad may not be overjuiced. Too juicy. I prefer this one. How about you guys? So always just kind of don't give up and think, oh gosh, I don't like that color with that, or it's got too much ink. There's ways that you can just take a little bit off. Okay, so let's bring this piece in because I want a copper clay. Hopefully this isn't too juicy. We don't have to do the same thing, but we'll see. No, I think that's good. I like that. And then we will do a few leaves. So that was copper clay. So we'll do a few leaves in the mossy meadow. Looks good to me. I like that. And there we go. Okay. So there's the pieces that we're going to need. Yeah, I like the second one too. It's just, I think you lose just too much definition here, right? I like this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut these apart so that I have some separation for cutting my dies, just to cut these shapes out. Okay. The beauty of the dies is that you can easily cut these out. So let's line that up. And you've joined me before, you know I need. Hi, Janet. I was pushing excess ink back into the pad. Oh, yeah. I know. We try to do, it's kind of these trial and error, isn't it? You can use like the back of a spoon, but I found that sometimes the edge of the spoon would catch my my foam pad and try and rip it. I'm just going to move this closer to me, you guys, just so I can see what I'm cutting. Because I'm a little off today. That looks good. So I'm just using a little bit of repositionable tape to hold that in place. So yeah, I find that an old bone folder works really well, or a new one, I suppose, but I like to keep my new ones pretty. So it's just an older one, and they've got that round edge, so you're never going to risk cutting it. Oh, I'm so glad. Are you guys like me? Do you, when you use like black, dark, when I use black, navy blue, or a dark color, I get it all over my hands, and then I get it all over my project. But when I use other colors, I don't. So why is that? Why is that? Doesn't even make sense. I think it's probably because I was cleaning this one, right? But I'm just going to make sure I got all that ink off my hands, because it's sad when you get ink where you don't want it. Probably get it where I don't want it anyway, but there, clean me up. All right, so let's run this through our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. So let's bring that in. And, oh, sorry, you guys. I noticed that you're still looking at my head. And why won't that switch? Just a sec, everybody. Okay, there I am. Hello. And there we are. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I didn't know you were looking at the side of my head. Okay. All right, so we've got plate number 3, plate number 2, and then we've got our little die cuts. Okay, we didn't need to see a big one of me. Sorry about that, everybody. I knew it was going to be that kind of day. Do you ever wake up and you think it's going to be that kind of day? Mm-hmm. But you know what? Just move on and make the best of it, right? Try not to get too upset. When I first started, I would be like, oh no, I made a mistake. Or it's just like when we show people in person and we worry that we're not perfect. Well, nothing's perfect. We all make mistakes, don't we? Okay. Let's put this. So now we're going to do the oak leaf and another set of leaves. I'm going to put that through. Here we go. Okay. Oh my gosh, you really saw my ugly hair day today if you're looking at the side of my face. Okay. So let's make sure I've got all these so they don't lose them. And next up, we're going to cut a few of those veins that go in our leaves. Now I wanted to use some of that gorgeous paper. So let's grab that. And I'm just going to see why I have lost my picture over here. Honest to Pete, I think that Facebook likes to mess with me. That's what I think. I mean, I'm sure it's not personal, but oh, look at this. It's not allowing me to even move over here. Here we go. Let's do that. It says my video's ended on my screen, but we know that's not true because I can see that I'm still, and there we go. Okay, back in business. All right. All the time. I love you, Carl. My daughter's sympathizing with me. Yeah, every day we wake up. Yeah, just keep on trucking. Now, I want to introduce you to these. I know I've shown you these before. Our adhesive sheets, which are really awesome. If you have a really fine and detailed die that you want to cut out, like the veins, I'm going to try and use it with my, oops. Yeah, it's got should have a little split there. There it is. So what you do is you take off one side and then you put your cardstock, or in this case, I'm using that gorgeous oxidized paper. Put that down. And then I'm going to do the same with this one. There we go. I like that it's got little separations on the back every so often so that you're not having to pick too much, trying to find where it is. Now, I will say this. When you use this, you have to have a little bit of patience. Because if things are really fine, you kind of have to pick at them to get them off. But I'm going to hope for the best. Even though I'm having one of those days, I'm going to embrace the challenge of using these today. Okay, so let's bring back our cut and emboss. Let's grab that, and I'm going to cut out this little vein here, and I'm going to cut out, I think I'll cut out a little maple leaf, and I think I'll cut out a little oak leaf. Let me see, I'm going to just check my card. I made it last night, and I'm just trying to make sure I've got the right ones on the right thing. Yeah, I think that looks good. So I've got a little bit extra that I don't need for this project, but that's okay. I'll use it again on another one. So let's run those through. Oh. Okay. I'm going to just set that aside so you can see it's cut those out. I'm just going to set that aside. And then I'm going to grab the other piece that's got more of the peacock colors in it. And I'm going to use my large one for that. Okay. All right. I think I've cut what I need for now. So I can set my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine on the side. How's everybody doing? Let's check back here. Heidi, saw your beautiful craft shells. Yeah, in my head. Thanks, Heidi. There we go. So now you guys can see a little bit better. Okay. Now here's another trick. I use a magnetic sheet when I'm using my dies because I don't know if you're like me, but when I start crafting, things start getting all over the place and then it's a hot mess. I'm sure you guys aren't like that. But if you're like that, this is a good way to keep track of where all your stuff is. Okay. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous suite of products, you guys. Just gorgeous. I'll show you that paper again because we didn't get a very good look at it. I think I've got everything. Oh yeah, there's my one last little vein here for my smaller leaf. So what we've done is rather than just cut it out from the paper, the cardstock, whatever, I have, come on out of there. Come on, release. I have cut it so that there is actual glue already on the back. Why won't you release? There we go. All right. So it'll make it a little bit easier when we go to stick it on. Because you can see, I'll show you in a sec, you can see that these little veins, look how thin they are. Now, if you're really good with glue, like the white glue or even the Stampin' Seal, then by all means go for it. But I really wanted to get as much glue on here as I could. Okay, so where's our project? Here it is. I want to just lay this out and decide how I want this to be. So I'm going to put that, look at that beautiful peacock. Isn't that gorgeous? Love that. Then we've got some more green. We got an oak leaf. I just kind of wanted to see how that would look. And we can always use some of these other elements. Okay, so let me start by, I'm going to glue down these leaves first because that will be our starting point. We're just creating a little scene here. You know, in Canada, as my Canadian friends are here, we have our Thanksgiving the second Monday in October. So while these are great for that, sending those thank you cards, I'm just going to make sure that I'm where I want this. Move that up a little bit. They're great for anyone who has a birthday in the fall, just gratitude cards, thanking people. Like these would be nice for my customers to send as a thank you, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the vein, as we call it. I'm going to just take my take a pick and see if I can get that started. And there we go. So I've just released the back of that. I hope you can see that. I'm just going to pull it off. So this is just the liner. And then this has got a very light glue. And you don't have to worry that it's really over sticky because it's not. It's really easy to work with once you get it off. There we go. I'm not worried about this piece because it's going to be glued to the actual project. So I'm going to now just stick some dimensionals on because I want to give this dimension. Okay. And let's bring that in. Look about there, looks good. Yeah, that looks good. That's what we've got so far. You see the shine with that oxidized? It's really pretty. Okay, then we're going to also take the back off of this one. So again, I'm just using my take a pick. I'm just giving it, this one's a little bit smaller. Sometimes you just have to work at it, but there we go. So just got the little piece at the top undone. I can just pull that off. And then we can stick it to the sleeve. I love this oxidized paper. Now it was very popular, so it's on back order. Oop, let go of me. It's on back order, or we don't call it that. We call it unorderable, but it's coming back. Everything's coming back quite quickly, actually, so it'll be okay. Okay, I'll just pop that up. I'm just going to lay that across like so. Now, I'm going to leave it like that because I've got some other things to add to it, but I'm not sure where I want to put in my extra elements, if any. Okay, so let me grab that fabulous ribbon that we talked about earlier, and I'm going to just trim it off. Just measure across and then trim it off. It's okay if the edges fray because it just sort of adds to the fall-like look of that, doesn't it? Okay, and then I'm going to use my tear and tape. If you use the glue, the white glue that I love, it will sometimes leach through the ribbon and then it becomes sad. You could also use glue dots, they would work, but we'll just use a piece of tape. Again, this has got a liner on it, so you're going to have to play with that to get it off too. Come on. Maybe glue dots would have been better. Sometimes things are a trial and error. Oh, here's another tip. Maybe if we burnish this, like really stick this on, it'll come away from its back. Come on. Yesterday I used the white glue and it was a mess. So that's why I thought, oh, there we go. Should just use my nail. One of those days. Just going to keep going. See how it's frayed? But it's fine. It just adds to the rustic look, right? So you can see I've got a little space here, which I don't like. So I can grab one of those foil elements that we cut out earlier, and we can just tuck that under, which I think looks nice. And then if we wanted to, I've got that other maple one. We could add it. But sometimes you just have to stop. You know what I mean? You just have to go, that's enough. That might have been a better choice. Let's see. I think on balance, that's a better choice. That's what I love about my white glue. If I just put it on, but I don't stick it down, like really press hard, I can play and move things around. So I'm just going to do that. Now I'm going to really stick that down. So that's what we've got so far. Look at all that glitter. Isn't that pretty? Or glimmer, I guess. Now we need a saying. Okay. So I know I had over here. So here is a piece of the copper clay. I'm going to use the copper clay ink. And I've pulled out a saying. Let me show you which one. Autumn teaches us that change can be beautiful. I like that. Right? What's that saying? Change is as good as a rest. I think that's true in life. It does sometimes change can be hard, right? We know that. But if you think of it in a different way, that it's also as good as a rest because you're embracing it. Let's grab. Remember I was showing you earlier that we've got these fabulous little labels? Let's cut one of those out. What's Keisha got to say? This is the first part I've seen where the stamps looked really nice. In the catalog, they looked so chunky. Oh, thanks, Keisha. Yeah, they look beautiful, don't they? They really are. I think as Janet said too, like when you take that extra ink off, you see all the definition and you get the highlight and the low light. It just is nicer. Okay, so I'm going to use that to cut out our saying. There we go. And it would help if I had these in the right order. So 3, 2, paper, label, 2. Okay, And it would also help if I had it going the right way. It's a little bit easier to turn a handle when it's at your end. Okay, there we go. Release that. And then I want to just do one more little thing. There is another label, which is a bit longer. Let me show you. It looks like this. So it's a bit longer. And I want to cut it out of the Very Vanilla. So let me grab a little piece. I was thinking yesterday, what card could I do this morning? And I didn't know what to do, to tell you the truth. And so I took a break and then I came back down here quite late for me. I don't usually come to my studio after 7 or 8 o'clock at night, but I came down and I thought I'm going to do something like that all about autumn. And then it just came together. So sometimes just, you know, when you're not inspired, just walk away. And then I'm telling you that because then, of course, once I've created my card and it was now 9 o'clock, I get it all ready to do the duplicate for you guys this morning. And I think I forgot to cut a few of these pieces. So that's why I just had to grab something. So that's what I wanted to do. I mean, I could leave it just with the copper clay, but let me show you. So I had it like this, which is nice. That looks nice. There's nothing wrong with that. But I just thought this would pop it a bit. So I thought that was a bit better. I don't know. I suppose either one is fine. Let's glue this one down. And again, I think I'm going to use my tear and tape only because I think it sticks better to the ribbon. Okay, so I'm going to center that. That's about right. Now, this one here, actually, you could pop it up to give you even more dimension. I didn't do that. Let's try it. Let's see which one we like better. Okay, so I'm going to just grab some of these ends of my dimensionals. Don't you love our dimensionals where you get all the little bits and bobs at the end that you can use up? Waste not, want not. Want not, waste not? I can't, which way does it go? Waste not, want not, I guess. And there we go. So that's what we've got. And then let's grab some of those fabulous embellishments that we looked at earlier. Here they are. And I'm going to use a mossy meadow. These are really pretty. I'll show you them up close in a minute. They've got a bit of a, I don't know what to, how would you guys describe them? Those of you who have these, how would you describe them? They've got a bit of a mottled look to them. You know what I mean? Like they're not a solid. They've got some color changes to them, I think is how I would describe it. Okay, so that's my card for today. Let me grab, I have a couple of others I was going to show you. Let me grab them. This is one that I made a couple weeks ago. So in this case, I've used some of that designer series paper just to highlight it. That's that pretty one that I love. I have embossed it this side with the distressed embossing folder. We've got the ribbon. And then instead of stamping and cutting out, I've just cut out the images from cardstock. And I used copper embossing powder just to emboss the word there, and then added some. Okay, so that's another one. And then I've got this one here. Again, there's that designer series paper. The veins just stamped on the copper clay, which is really nice. And then here's a interesting way to use the ribbon. So we've got the piece of the natural ribbon and then just a little titch of the copper. Can you see that? And then this is stamped, and these ones are stamped off, so they're not as dark. Okay. So those are some other samples, but that's the one I did. Maybe I'm going to just do that. I'm just going to lower this a titch so you guys can see it. There we go. Hopefully that's good. You see that? A little bit of a glare there. There we go. Okay. All right. So, oh, I forgot one little thing. Does it drive you nuts sometimes when you get a card and then you have to go write in it, but you can't really see what you're writing? I'm going to put a piece of Very Vanilla in there, and I'm going to use Moody Mauve, and I'm going to just, hopefully, I don't know how dark this one is, this Moody Mauve. Hopefully it's not. Let's see. Oh, that's too dark. See, there's an example where we just want to take off some of that color, right? Might as well do it. Might as well bite the bullet and do it. So if you missed it earlier, we're just going to take a bone folder. We're going to use the side because it won't rip your pad. Clean off your bone folder as best you can. You do have to live with the fact that it's going to color it. Okay, it's just sadly the way it is. And then ink it up and see, there's the difference. Look at that. It's quite a difference, isn't it? You don't have to do that once because now you've tamed the beast that is your ink pad. And of course, when you buy ink pads, I always buy the reinker. Do you guys do that? Like as soon as when I buy the ink pad, I buy the reinker at the same time. And then I always have it so I can re-ink. Okay. And we can put that inside and then we'll have a place to stamp a greeting. Okay. Okay. Now, what else did I want to show you? We went through these papers, but it was my head that you were saying. So let's just quickly go through them again. We've got these beautiful, beautiful photographs, books, some fabric. Look at the pumpkins and the gourds. Isn't that gorgeous? Love that. More books. This was one of my favorites. I do love this because you do get the Moody Mauve in there. And we've just got a picture of some leather. Just that looks, just the texture. Another pretty forest. Oh, look at this one. That's my fave. You've even got some purple in there. You could even pull up some purples. This is like a throw, like a wool throw. I love all the, how you can see all the definition and the creases. Another beautiful picture of walking through the woods. I will say this reminds me more of where I grew up in the East, only because in Vancouver we do have changing. We never used to have a lot of seasons, but now we do actually have more of the 4 seasons, don't we, guys? And if you have a nice day, this is what it would look like. But a lot of times by the time it gets to this, it's a bit wet because we do live in a rainforest. And then this was the one that we used today. We used this one and I just embossed it, remember? Okay. And then look at the other side. We've got all these gorgeous, all of these are metallic. Just, oh my gosh, look at this one. Love it. So you get 4 of each of these in that pack of designer series paper. So 48 sheets. Just where will you start? Because you got a lot to play with. All right, so let's do that. And I'll show you what I mean. This is the card that I made last night, but that's where that white, see how it leached through? That's the white glue. Kind of sad. But I'll still send it because someone will like it. All right, back over here to there. Okay, so sorry about that earlier. I used on my head. Yeah, very juicy pads when new, aren't they, Heidi? Yeah. What's good? Oh, thanks, Mo. I like yeah, you like the double layer. Yeah, because it just sort of, it's just flat. This one kind of raises it, right? Got that one. Love the colors. Thanks, Heidi. Saw your beautiful craft. Yeah, beautiful craft area. Jacqueline. Oh, thanks so much. They do like marbling. That's the word, Jacqueline. I couldn't think of a word. Marbling. They have a marble look, right? Oh, you're very welcome, Heidi. I'm glad I helped you. Oh, I'm glad. I enjoy your mellow. Oh, thanks. I got a mellow. Heidi says I got a mellow voice, so like mellow moss maybe. Okay, well, check out that class, Heidi. I'd love for you to come. What else? Oh, I thought I'd show you this. For those of you who want to stick around, I want to show you something that I think will work. Let me just see. But A lot of my customers will tell me that they cannot find or they don't know where to look for the online exclusives. So I'm going to try something. So shall we see if this works? I'm pretty sure it will. And let's see. Hopefully we can see that. So I'm going to look at my screen and see if it's switched. It'll just take a sec. There we are. Yay. Oh, look, you can still see me and the thing. Wow, you can see everything. Okay, so this is my online store. So to find the online exclusives, you're going to come here to menu and just click on the menu. And then you got a whole bunch of choices here. So we've got stamps, ink, paper bundles, view all. So that's everything that's offered. But if you come here to online exclusives and click, you'll be able to see what's available in it's not brand new, it's been about a year. Products that are never going to be in the main catalog. So these are going to be online only, but you can order them through me if you want. You can still send me the number, say, I want that Traditions of St. Nick paper, and I'll order it for you. You don't have to order online if you don't want. But let's check out these new papers. So this is Traditions of St. Nick's. Look at this. Can you see these? So head over to my store, shopcrazywithallison.com. You can see all these papers. And that's a new one. And it goes with the St. Nicholas bundle from the mini catalog. Look at this. We've got glimmer paper, and it's gold and silver, but check this out. It's got adhesive. So you know how we were using it today? We're using that oxidized paper, and I added the adhesive sheet on the back. You don't have to. It's already got it on for you. Woohoo. Then this is another brand new one. Now these just got released last week. Shining Christmas special date paper. Check these out. Look at these patterns. These are really traditional and something you can use. Oh my gosh, look at that one. Isn't that gorgeous? I've got mine coming tomorrow. Love this one. Love this Harlequin look. So pretty. So these are all available while supplies last. Don't you hate those words? While supplies last. Check out this one. This is called Delightful Floral, but it actually is a companion paper to the stamp set bundle that's in the mini, which is called, is it translucent? Why do I keep thinking it's translucent? It seems like a funny name, but oh, translucent florals. What do you know? Isn't this gorgeous? Look at this. Now, I don't have the paper yet. It's coming. But for those of you who have this, I've got the stamp set, the bundle. I'm thinking that maybe some of the dies will cut these out. But how gorgeous this is, paper. Marbled paper. It's beautiful. So check that one out. And then we've also got this one, which is a tartan. So let's see. What have we got here? It's tartan foil. So it's 12 by 12. I'm thinking it's single-sided. But you get, let's see, 6 sheets. 2 each of 3 double sides. Oh, okay, there you go. So they are double-sided. But they've got some, oh, like that one. They've got some metallic elements to it. So those are nice. And that's the 5, right? Yeah, 5 new ones. And then check out the brand new kit. Christmas Everywhere kit. How cute is this? Now, this would make a perfect gift for anybody, but it's also a great way to make some fun Christmas cards really fast. And let's see what color you get in it. You get a photopolymer stamp set, of course, and we get the Lost Lagoon. I love these colors. They're quite non-traditional, aren't they? But they work. What have we got? Granny Apple Green, Lost Lagoon, Pecan Pie, Pretty Peacock, and Real Red. Love. So check those out in my store, okay? And then the only other thing I wanted to show you was, let's see here. What's new? World Card Making Day. I hope that you will join Stampin' Up! At World Card Making Day, which is always the first Saturday in October. Stampin' Up! Didn't make up this day. This is an actual day that's celebrated around the world, Card Making Day, and that's what we do, right? So if you go to my page, my Shop Crazy with Alison page, you'll be able to find all the information. You can download what you need for the day. You do not have to purchase these products, but because you can substitute. But if you want them, you can see which ones are being used. So we've got the circle sayings. They're going to make a project with that. Earth and textures. Love that. And look at this. Brand new stamp bundle that you can pre-purchase. Sort of like a sneak peek. Let's see if I can get back to where I was. Can I get back? Nope, site can't be reached. That's because, there we are. So check that out. It's also got the cutting instructions for each card. And then you'll join on October the 7th from 2 to 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Okay. So you can adjust for your time zone. You do not have to register, but if you do register, you'll get a notification. If you can't come live, no problem. You can join later, and it'll be available. The replay will be available until the 31st of October. Okay, so check that out. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing and hopefully come back, and hopefully I'm back. We'll see. I just have to wait a few moments for it to catch up, and there we are. Okay. All right, so thanks you guys for joining me. I will see you all, let's see, when am I going to see you again? Wednesday at 3 o'clock. And I have a better hair day because I'm going to the hairdresser. So I'll see you then. If you have any questions, of course, just send me an email, stampwithalison@gmail.com, or just ask it on my page. If you're not a member of my Border Buddy Hangout, please ask to join. All the links are always on my Stamp Crazy with Alison page. And sign up for my newsletter because I'm going to start a 12-week of Christmas special newsletter starting on September 25th. And I'll just come directly to your email. Okay? All right, everybody. You all have a great day and happy